Hello. Hey guys. What is up? How you doing? Hello, hello. All right. Gonna get started in just a sec. I'm just getting this set up. Okay, beautiful. Cool. All right, if you're there, say hi. Let me know you're on the line. Let me know you're watching. Let me know where you are. Hoping this is going to last because we got forever having these issues with my Wi-Fi where, like, I know it's right there, it's clear as day, but it doesn't like it. It does at the moment, so let's hope it continues to like it for a little while. Okay, so let's get into this. All right, the title today, what I really feel like talking about, and something that was actually, it was keeping me up last night, and then I woke up thinking about this morning, and it had a lot to do with myself, as it always does. What I go through, I know a lot of people go through, and so therefore this is why I talk about it, because I've learned in the past that if you don't talk about what it is, the challenges that you face and how you fix them, nobody else can learn from your mistakes. And chances are, if you're going through it, someone else has gone through it. So here's what was keeping me up last night, and what I woke up thinking about this morning. I was wanting, and I was channeling, and I was absolutely just purposefully putting it out there that I wanted to get even more selective with my clients. I wanted to get even more filtered, even more just deliberate about who I'm working with, right? Oh, go away, phone. One of my clients sending me through stuff. Cool. All right. I wanted to get even more deliberate, right, about what I was doing and what I wanted, and who I was working with, more importantly. And so I was kind of running through my head what my process is a lot of the time when it comes to personal training clients, in particular. I have a lot of other processes in place, obviously, but when it comes to personal training clients, I was wanting to, obviously, not just from the intention point of view, but from the actual applying it point of view, right? So what was getting to me, and what was I was constantly rethinking was, right, how am I setting the intention very early on of who I want to work with and who I'm going to help, right? How am I making it absolutely dead clear so that I don't end up with clients who I thought were going to be the kind of clients I need to be working with and who need my help and everything, but in reality, they're not. So that was what I was stuck thinking about, right? And then it got to me that maybe I haven't got in process at the moment, and I've now started implementing it straight away, because that's the main thing, is whenever you figure something out, start implementing it right away, right? Is to be really specific about something, and this is where the hashtag comes in. Why now, right? And this is something I've gotten out of the habit of asking people, but I really need to, and I am putting it back into place now. Whatever your goal is, whatever you're doing, ask yourself, why now? Like, why is this now an issue? Why is this now a goal? Why not last month? Why not last year? Why not tomorrow? Why not next week? Why not next year? Why now? And this is something that a lot of people will shy away from if you say it, and there will be two reasons. There may be multiple reasons, but the two that I see come through a lot when you ask someone this question is, one, they just don't get it, because basically whatever their goal is isn't that important anyway. So to them to think, why now? It's like, oh, well, I don't know. My partner joined up at the gym at this time. It just seemed like a good idea. Some guy approached me. I thought, oh yeah, may as well get a bit of fitness, whatever, right? So basically their goal isn't really world changing anyway. They don't really have anything to get really excited about. It's not even really about them. More importantly, right? So there's that option, in which case they're not meant to work with me. It's simple as that. I don't work well with people who don't have big goals and massive ass dreams and all that kind of stuff, because that's where I excel. That's where I get to push all the buttons and get to get you the results. I don't work well with mediocre. But that's fine. That could be option A, right? Option B. I really need to get more water in. Option B of why now is that something has actually happened. You get a deeper reason for why they're doing this, right? So a lot of people will tell you the surface stuff. Why now? Oh, well, summer's coming up, and I thought it would be a good time to, if you lose a few kilos, spring racing, all that kind of stuff, right? And that's great. And that's really good if they've got at least the awareness of why it's happening now. At least they have obviously a goal in mind. So that's a big thing, that they're getting closer to actually having a goal worth having as such. Not that I'm saying there's no goal, that there's goals not worth having, but okay, yeah, there is. Sorry, not sorry. But goals that aren't going to help you, help anyone else, basically advance this world in any single way, I'm sorry, they're just not worth having. And that doesn't mean, I don't mean, fluffy goals like spiritual type goals. They're just as important as tangible, big, weight loss, whatever it is goals. They're just as important, and just as tangible, actually. So that's not at all what I'm saying. Don't take that away from this. However, once you actually get that kind of a answer, that you get a reason of why now, and you actually get a little bit of a timeline going, you get a better idea of why this person's actually doing what they're doing, and why now, why this matters right now as opposed to last month, last week, whether it's, a lot of the time it's either a pain or a pleasure threshold that gets reached, right? So someone may have, and they won't tell you this straight away, they may have, for example, when it's to do with, personal training, when it's to do with body transformation, aesthetics, that kind of stuff, which is what I specialize in, right? When it's that kind of stuff, a lot of people won't tell you straight up what the real reason is. They'll go, I just, kind of had a look in the mirror the other day and I didn't like what I saw, and blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, that's fine, but I'm not buying that, right? Because you see yourself in the mirror every day. I get that if you're not happy with how you look, you kind of stop looking and you kind of try to ignore what you see. I get that. However, the truth is you are still looking, you're still seeing yourself in the mirror every day. So that's not really it. And you kind of have to dig a little deeper. And that's when you find out, okay, well, maybe what's actually happening is that something happened. For example, they went to an event the weekend before. They ran into an ex. They ran into an ex-friend, a family member. They went to a family gathering and their family commented on how much, weight they've put on, or how they're not looking as happy or as vibrant or whatever it is, right? Something happened that was out of the ordinary. And that's the big thing, because otherwise it's not going to be a now thing. If nothing's happened that's different, it's not going to be a now. It's going to be I look at myself in the mirror this morning and I didn't like what I saw. Well, great. How's that different to the day before or the week before when you also thought exactly the same thing? Why now? And until you can get into exactly why it is now that this suddenly matters, it's not going to matter. It's not going to stick. And it's really hard to formulate a plan and a goal based on something that you don't really care about. It's as simple as that. If you don't have a big why, it's just not going to last. On the flip side, having a big enough why, and the how will take care of itself. I'm sure you've heard that before, and I'm sure it means absolutely nothing to you, as it did for me for a very long time. And there are still times now when I'm absolutely 100%, I doubt whether that is actually the truth, because I know exactly why and exactly what I'm meant to be doing, but the how seems to be the struggle part of it. But that's fine, because I know I will figure it out. I know I will, and I have to believe that, because there's no other choice, right? The other choice is giving up, and that's not really a choice, right? So back to why now, right? Once you dig a little bit deeper and figure out what it is that's actually causing you to want this now, as opposed to last week, last month, or even putting it off and going, oh, look, this is something I'll tackle next month, after Christmas, next year, whatever it is. When you figure out why now, you tend to start to figure out why this actually matters to you in the first place, why it's actually of importance, because putting a timeline on it, making it a priority now as opposed to a priority sometime in the future, changes things a great deal. So be very careful with what you commit yourself to, and be very careful with what you don't commit yourself to, more importantly. For sure, overcommit, do everything, jump in, whatever you want to do. This is your life. You've got to live it the way that you intended to and the way that makes you feel fantastic, right? But nobody's ever gotten to the end of their life and regretted the things they've done, or regretted the things that they pushed all in and went all in and just went, nah, this is it. I have to do this now. That's not the stuff you regret. It's the stuff you didn't do that you regret. So if you have something that you're kind of putting off and going, well, no, not now, not this, not that, reconsider. Is that something you really want? If it is, then guess what? Now is the only time. There is no other time except now. But if you are constantly putting it off, and if it's fear-based, that you're just scared, you don't know how to do it, you don't know that you're going to succeed, you failed so many times before, I get that. That's fine. Fear is great. Fear is something that you can work around and work with and work through. So fear, I can definitely help with. It's when it's not really something that you want that it becomes a problem. So all the fear stuff, you can work through that. You can get the tactics, you can get the techniques, you can get everything down pat and get through it and work through it, and you're done, right? But if you actually get to a stage where you go, well, no, this isn't actually what I want at all. The reason I'm not doing it is because I don't want it. Then that's a different story. And that's when it doesn't matter when you do it, you're never going to do it. It's as simple as that. Or if you do it, you're going to seriously feel pissed off at the end of it because it wasn't what you wanted in the first place. But I'm going to dare say that if you're here, if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, your problem isn't that you don't want to do anything, because then you wouldn't be watching this, right? You wouldn't be wanting to know how to get the most out of your life, how to succeed, how to nail the goals that you have. That wouldn't interest you if you had none, if you didn't want anything better, right? I'm guessing that it's the fear stuff that gets a little bit more, and that putting a timeline on it and going, okay, no, I have to do this now. I can't put this off till next year. I can't put this off till next month, or whatever it is. That makes it scary. That makes it real. And it's that fear stuff that will hold you back, that will almost set up that sabotage, because you know that, well, what if I fail? What if this doesn't work? What if I'm not good enough? What if it just ends up like every other time I've tried it, right? And I get that. And that's completely just fear talking. And the thing is, as long as you stay in that state of fear, of not doing things because you don't know that it's going to work, you don't trust that it's going to work, you don't really know how it's going to work, if it is, because it hasn't worked in the past, so how is it going to be any different this time? Right, so if you're stuck in that mindset, it's really hard to get yourself to commit to something. And commitment is 100% the most important thing in any goal. You have to commit mind, body, heart, soul, everything into it. Because if you're not on board, if one part of you is not on board, if you're going through and you're doing all of the work, for example, in terms of your fitness, maybe you're coming in and doing your workouts and all that kind of stuff. And I see this all the time. People just going through the motions. I'm sorry, but it's not about that. It's not about the number of repetitions you do at a particular weight, the number of minutes you do on a cross trainer with your heart rate at a certain number. That's not what it's about. You have to get your mind, you have to get your whole soul involved for that change. Otherwise, what are you really going to be changing? You're going to be changing parts of your body, but your body is a lot more than the repetitions and the time that you spend in the gym. It's actually your entire physiology, your hormones, everything that needs to work together. And if all you're doing is, say, 20% of it by doing the actual physical part of it, you're always going to find it difficult to actually get any further. So your why now, it has to be on a soul level. And this is really important. I know that I laugh and I joke about this a lot with my clients and with everyone, right? That when they ask me, what are your goals? What do you work towards? What do you specialize in? And I say aesthetics, straight up. I work with people who want to look shit hot, who want to feel fantastic and sexy and awesome in their body. And And I take away the shame of that, because I know that a lot of what's out there in the media and in the media at the moment is a lot of not fat shaming, the opposite. It's fit shaming, right? I know I'm getting off topic here. But it is, there's a lot of that fit shaming going on that says, oh, you can't want to look just great and hot. You have to focus on your fitness. You have to focus on your health. Don't get any shallow goals. This is what you should want. This is what should be aiming for. Otherwise, you're just shallow. It's not a good thing, right? You have to have these more moral and, upstanding goals and that kind of crap, right? And so anyone who works with me knows that I quickly shut that down, because I think that's absolute crap. I think that you will always work harder for the goals that you truly want. And having gone through times in my life in the past where I have spent close to a decade trying to get happy with my goal of health and fitness, when really all I wanted to do was look shit hot and feel fantastic. And no matter how fit I got, no matter how many burpees I could do in a row, I was never happy, right? And shock horror, I figured out, is because I wasn't working towards the goal that I actually wanted. And this is so important. If you're not working for the goal that you want, whose goal are you working for? And this comes down to the why now. Why now is because you want it now, because you've had enough of doing other people's shit, of having other people's goals be the guiding light for you, of having other people tell you, oh yeah, no, you should do this, you should do that. If you're female, you've probably come from a background as well of being told by the media that, oh, you shouldn't do weights will make you big, girls should do this, girls should do that, whatever it is. I know it's changing a lot. I know that there's a lot more information out there, but the truth is it's not really getting through to everyone at all. And I know that because I see that on a daily basis. I still see girl after girl coming through to the gym, jumping on the treadmill and doing that for months and months on end, and wondering why they haven't gotten anywhere. And occasionally they'll jump over to the weights and pick up a couple of 1 kilo dumbbells and do something that resembles weight training. And again, get absolutely no change and nothing with it. And so I know that misinformation is still very, very prevalent. That's not a joke. Oh my God, where was I? I completely went off track. If you're on there, tell me what I was talking about. So your why now, it has to be yours. It has to be, why do you want this now? Not why does your mum want this? Why does your dad want this? Why does your partner want this? Why do your friends want this? Why does your doctor want this? Wow, that's the least motivational out there I've ever heard. The number of people that get told horrible stuff by their doctor and then have to make a change. Yeah, I've realized that doctors are really not motivational when it comes to that. You know what is motivational? Is committing yourself to something, getting the right guidance, getting the right help when needed. And this is really important, because otherwise you are just wasting your time going around in circles. Like you go to an expert, you go to a doctor when you're sick, you go to the physio when you've pulled something, whatever it is, you go to the experts for that. Why the hell would you not get an expert when it comes to your health and fitness, so that you can actually get what you want? Because otherwise, if you were the expert, you'd already have it, right? Surprise. So the why now has to be yours. It has to be your goal. It has to be your reason. It has to be exactly what you want. Otherwise, you're constantly going to be on that cycle, that yo-yo of working for someone else, working your goals for someone else, trying to figure it out, and wondering why every time you even reach one of these goals, you're still not happy, right? So get really realistic about it. Ask yourself, why now? Why am I wanting this now? Why did I not commit to this last month? Why did I not commit to this last year? Why am I not putting this off until next year? Right now, when I'm doing this is what are we? No, oh my God, I nearly said November. It is nearly November. It's like end of October 2016, right? Why are you not putting this off till next year? That would be really easy, right? Just go, oh, screw it. You know what? New Year's resolution sounds like a great time when I'm hungover. That'll be a really awesome time to start a new goal. Why not? Why not? That's what so many people do. That's what 98% of the population will do. They'll start some kind of New Year goal that never lasts, right? Why not you? Why are you so different? Why are you so special? And you are. You are. That's just the fact of it. If you are here, you are. It's just that simple, because you want more. You're demanding more. You're creating more. And you know that you're going to get there. You know that you're going to figure it out one way or another. Come hell or high water, you will get to where you are meant to get to, and higher and more, and you will keep growing. But why now? Getting that why now and getting that threshold, basically, that's a powerful future motivator to look back on, to go, hold on, what made me change this in the first place? And it can be a choice. That's what I'm going to finish with. If you really, really want something and nothing has happened that has pushed you over the threshold, like a lot of people have, you've probably heard it before. I saw a photo of myself from this event and I couldn't believe how I looked. Or I was at a high school reunion and I was talking to people about where they'd gotten with their life, and I realized that so many of them had suddenly it hit me how many people were living these amazing lives that they'd created, and I wasn't. I was stuck in a dead-end job that I wasn't enjoying, and I wasn't creating the life that I love and that I've always dreamed of. Sure, that's great if you have those kind of threshold things, but I'm just going to say it to you, you don't always get one. You don't. Sometimes you don't hit rock bottom, and that doesn't mean that that's any less important for you to make that change, right? Because rock bottom may or may not be a good thing for you, quite frankly. A lot of us do need to hit rock bottom. We do need to get to a point where we just go, well, fuck it. Like, why does this matter anyway? I'm done. I am done making my choices based on other people. I'm done holding myself back based on other people. I'm done. And then they rise from that, and that's fine. But sometimes you're not going to. And especially if you're like me, and if you're like a lot of people that I'm drawn to work with, we are very controlled people in our daily life, right? So we exhibit and exude a lot of control over everything, over our lifestyles, over the way that we run things. We don't like to give up that control, and you're most likely not going to be at a stage where your life is falling apart because you won't allow that, quite frankly. It's just not in your nature, right? And even though you might get to a stage where you kind of feel like you're falling apart, and you almost kind of have to throw your hands up in the air and go, oh my God, what the fuck have I done with my life? This is not what I'm meant to be doing. And you hit your metaphorical rock bottom. The truth is, to everyone else, you will just look like you're blitzing through life anyway, right? And that's just part of it. But you're going to have to maybe make that choice. And the choice is just as powerful as the epiphany, as the rock bottom, as the suddenly, oh my God, I can't put this off any longer, whatever it is, threshold that, again, pain or pleasure threshold. It can be a painful one, like what I said about, going to your high school reunion, or seeing a photo from an event that you thought you looked fine in, and suddenly you're like, oh my God, no, I've let myself go. I don't like who this person is. It can be a painful one, or it can be a pleasure one. It can be where you just get to a stage where you go, you know what? I want bliss. This is not how my life is meant to be. I want absolute total happiness. I want absolute total love, everything. And this is a thing. People don't actually realize that this is a thing that you can do. Get to a pleasure threshold where you just have to have more pleasure in your life. And just to give you an example of a real life situation of this, I was in a relationship many years ago before I met my now husband, Matt, right? And that was exactly what I got to. It was a pleasure, so to speak, threshold, where I got to a stage that I realized this is fine. There's nothing wrong with this relationship, but this is not the ultimate. This is not the happiest I am ever going to be. This is not something that allows me to feel levels of passion and happiness and just feeling like this person is my soulmate. I could tell that this was not it. And that was a threshold for me where I went, well, look, good enough actually isn't good enough for me. I need more, and I demand more, and I have to have more. And it was that threshold of saying, this isn't enough. Good enough isn't good enough for me, that made me go and look for that. And I was so adamant. I made such a powerful choice that there was no other option. The universe had to bring Matt to me because it was hell or high water, literally. And I remember actually saying that to universe. I sat down days and days on end and I just went, look, I'm being straight with you, universe. If you do not give me the perfect guy who is, and I don't mean perfect as in like, idealistic perfect. I mean perfect for me, as in my match, as in my soulmate, as in the person who challenges me in the ways that I need to be challenged, who grows with me, who is my other half, whom being around feels almost better than being around myself. Almost. And sometimes it really does. And that was how clear I was about absolutely everything that this person had to be, right? And that was my threshold, and that was my new choice that I made. Nothing was bad. Nothing pushed me to that stage. Nothing, my relationship wasn't abusive. It wasn't horrible. It was a great relationship that I was in, but it wasn't absolutely everything that I wanted, right? And that was my threshold. I chose a new threshold of how much pleasure I want in a relationship. I decided that much wasn't enough and I wanted more. Plain and simple. And you can make that choice as well. You don't have to have horrible things happen to you. You don't have to have a painful picture, painful reunion, something to shake you out of this. Your why now can be a choice. It can be simply you sitting down, assessing where you're at, going, okay, this is what I have. Am I happy with this? Am I going to continue this? Is this the best I can do? And the chances are, no, it's not. And if you want more, you're going to have to go get it. You're going to have to make the choice that it's going to be now. And it's going to be your choice. And let me tell you, as much as it sounds like a great story when people say, oh, it was that picture that threw me off the edge and, made me really just take charge of my life and get my health and fitness, and it's just turned everything around. Or it was that reunion at high school that made me realize that I wasn't chasing my dreams. I wasn't building the business I want. I wasn't living my life on my terms, right? As much as that sounds like a great thing, the truth is, for the reality for a lot of us is, it is a choice. And a choice is so much more fucking powerful because it comes from you. It doesn't come from any outside source. You can never look back and go, this person made me feel like this, so I did this. This situation made me feel like this, so I did this. You can seriously just come back and go, this was all me. This was my choice. This was my doing. Everything that I've done is 100% because this is what I was called to do and what I have to have. It's as simple as that. Making that choice on your own without anything else is so much more powerful than you will ever realize until you've actually done it, until you've actually gone through it, stuck to it, and followed through, and then gotten to where you want and gone, holy shit, this was me. This was 100% me. Nobody else did this for me. I actually did this, right? All right, so we're going to finish up there. If you have any questions, if you have any other thoughts, please let me know. Comment below, let me know. Also, feel free to email me directly. It's anna@annabrooks.com.au. And that's what I was going to say. Now I've remembered. Check out www.annabrooks.com.au/coaching, I believe is the page. I'll actually, once I'm off this, I'll just pop it in there anyway, so you've got it. Pop it in the comments section. Check that out. If you have gotten to a stage where you have either reached your threshold and you are at that why now stage, or you want to get to that stage and you, sorry, I'm losing my voice. I think that's enough talking for one day. Or you have gotten to a stage where you just need someone else to push your buttons a little bit and get you to make that commitment, that why now, that choice, that threshold for yourself. Check out the coaching page. I'd love to talk to you and work out if there's something we can do together that will help get you there, that will get you to that stage where you can go, yep, this is it, this is me, I am going to make this happen. If this is your why now, if this is your now, then make sure you check that out and let's see if we are a good fit and let's work together and get you to where you want to go. All right. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Have a great day. Bye.